Giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Harakakadash, double honors to our apostles and elders here at Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. So I wanted to touch on the topic of both Simeon and Levi. So we are the Hebrew Israelites, 12 tribes of Israel. These are God's chosen people. Today they're consisted of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American man. That's what they're called today. We say so-called because that's what we're called today. But in actuality, our tribes go back to one of the 12 sons of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. Now, a few weeks ago, we came across these two Haitians, two Levites at camp. It was actually, I believe it was Easter, I remember, because they tried to get some food across the street. They were closed. The Spirit led them over here where we are, and we started talking. And he actually got to express his disdain for Dominicans. And we tried to reason with him, let them know that there are brothers, and the fact that they actually have strife towards one another is actually proof that the scriptures are real between the tribes. And it didn't hit me till after the fact, but I said, wait a minute, Simeon and Levi? If only they know that their history in the scriptures and what they did together. See? And I also did a lesson not that long ago. Of course, the channel got taken down. I can actually reload it because it's on my phone. But I talked about how Simeon, which are the Dominicans today, they suffer from self-hatred, and on top of that, they also have a problem with Southern Kingdom, so-called Negroes. And because there was this woman that came out and she tried to do a reminder of, this is just a reminder, we Dominicans, we're not black, stop calling us black, we ain't black, we Dominicans, so leave us alone, all the other stuff. And I was playing some videos where they was going over the history of how they basically suffer from self-hatred and how we really are one family, but they suffer for it because of that conquering. They were conquered, and especially the Dominican Republic, they got it bad. The Simeonites, they really suffer from hatred of the dark skin. They believe that the lighter they are, the closer they are to a so-called white man, which is Esau, Edom, the devil. And to them, that's where they feel comfortable because our people were conquered. And I was explaining how it's really no different from the Judite woman, so-called black woman today either. They hate themselves. I mean, they really got it bad, especially our women. Like, if you want a challenging task, try convincing a woman, a so-called black woman, that her natural beauty is sufficient, how you like her natural beauty. You're not going to get them to see that. That's how bad they got it. I know because I've tried. So when you see them walk around with the blonde wigs, things like that, they got it down bad inwardly. And you could try to convince them, look, you're beautiful without that. You don't need that. Invest in your natural beauty. It's not going to work. That's how bad they got it. And Simeon is no different than the Dominicans. But nevertheless, we're talking about Levi and Simeon, right? The Haitians, so-called, and the Dominicans, so-called, today. So I'm going to let this video play and then touch on some brief history regarding the two. And what these two tribes don't seem to understand is, right, they're on the same island. And it didn't hit me till after the fact. I said, wait a minute, y'all on the same island? That's dangerous. According to the scriptures. And it don't look too good for them heathen down there. So I'll let you hear what he has to say.
It's got to be just reborn in the kingdom. Because our real true land is Jerusalem.
Right? Because like the brother was saying, like two-thirds of these people that you see on the sign right here, they gonna perish. So like only 1/3 of the Israelites are gonna make it on this side.
I hope the Dominicans perish. I fucking hate these people.
That's your brother, man. That's what he just said.
They don't give me a camera. I don't like when they be targeted.
Simeon and Levi.
Yeah,
Simeon and Levi.
And see, that's in the scriptures. That's in the scriptures. Where's that?
That y'all gonna be against each other.
God, that's Genesis.
Okay, I hope the Dominicans perish, bro.
But listen to me.
They got in 1991.
No,
I hope they perish.
I know you're laughing, but in actuality, you shouldn't be saying that, bro. In actuality, you shouldn't be saying that because I'm literally your brothers. Literally the same stuff.
Not how they treat us.
What you got?
This is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 13.
So the brother's going to read the scripture. So you heard what he said, and he went on with that. He was basically firm. He said, I don't like the Dominicans because of the history, because of what they did to my people, etc. F them. And that's just proving the scripture, which the brother going to read, that there's strife between the tribes, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom.
Speaking on what y'all were just speaking on, the differences between the Haitians and the Dominicans, right? It says the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah, right? Ephraim represents the northern kingdom, and Judah represents the southern kingdom, right? And it says the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off, Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim, right? Wow, so at a certain point,
what verses? I'm sorry, what verses?
Isaiah 11 and 13.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know,
listen.
And it's the reason why. It's the reason why, you know, because like I said, it was that way between Issachar and Judah.
I got it if you don't mind, right?
Fuck them, bro. I
check this out. I got something for you. Check this out. You act.
So you see what he said? He's like, man, F them. I don't care. Well, it, like I said, it didn't hit me to after the fact, but we kept saying like, bro, y'all on the same island. And that's when I realized, I said, wait a minute, how slow am I, right? How come it didn't click the first time? Simeon and Levi together, that's a bad duo, all right? Did you know that in the scriptures, because again, remember, Levi represents the Haitians and Simeon are the Dominicans, right? The southern kingdom consists of, like to say, the so-called Negro tribes, Judah and Benjamin, Levi, from the Negroes to the West Indies to the Haitians, whereas the northern kingdom consists of what we call Latin tribes or Spanish tribes, starting with Ephraim, which are the Puerto Ricans, because Ephraim was the head of the northern kingdom, but it also consists of Simeon, which are the Dominicans, all the way down to the so-called Mexicans. Now I will say the Dominicans actually, Simeon, and really it's for all the tribes, but Simeon very strongly resembles Southern as well. There's times where you can't even tell the difference, right? Because really we all look like the same in the past. We had difference as far as dialects. We had different speeches and things like that. The Lord deals with diversity. That was back then. It's all in the scriptures. For the most part, we all look dark-skinned with woolly hair. There was subtle differences so you could tell, okay, this brother's from Simeon or whatever the case is. But a lot of times you had to ask to verify, okay, where you from? Just like read the account of the Ephraimite. It's like, look, are you an Ephraimite? If you are, then say this word. They couldn't say it. You lying, you slay them. There was a point of time where Ephraim was getting touched. So check this out. You may not know this, but when you read about the 12 sons, right, it was, a lot of brothers, some brothers stick close to another, right? Well, Simeon and Levi, okay, that was a bad duo. So much so that they actually avenged our sister, because we had a sister, her name was Dinah. She was the first Israelite woman. Or Dinah, the way you would pronounce it. This is Genesis chapter 34. Here's the story. And Dinah, or Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, so he was from Ham, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. Right, so he basically forced himself on her. And his soul clave to Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel and spake kindly unto the damsel. And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, get me this damsel to wife. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrought folly in Israel in lying with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done. Why is that? Because we are not supposed to, our daughters, our women are not supposed to be mingled. They're not supposed to be wives to the other nations. They're not supposed to be. Just like Jacob went amongst his kins to get a wife. When it came to Dinah, she was, which it doesn't tell you anymore after the fact, but she was supposed to marry amongst somebody who Jacob picked out, chose. She wasn't supposed to be given to no heathen, because whatever children she bear, they're going to be a heathen, because you are of your father. Right now, Dinah, she's an Israelite, so no matter what, she's going to be in the kingdom. She's probably back here today. It's like I like to say Dinah, just comes out that way. But it could be pronounced Dinah as well. So they were pissed off, right? Verse 8, it says, and Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you, give her him to wife, and make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you. And ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade ye therein, and get you possessions therein. And Shechem said unto the father and unto her brethren, let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me I will give. Ask me never so much dowry or gift, and I will give according to as ye shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to wife. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah their sister. They said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. But in this we will consent unto you. Yeah, because they were also uncircumcised. All right, so that's why I say they defiled her. It says, if ye will be as we, that every male of you be circumcised, then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if you would not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then we will take our daughter, and we will be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son. You see, but really they were setting them up. It says, and the young man deferred not to do the thing, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. And Hamor and Shechem his son came into the gate of their city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, these men are peaceable with us, therefore let them dwell in the land, and trade therein. For the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters for us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent unto us, for to dwell, to be one people, if every male among us circumcised, as they are circumcised. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs shall be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they shall dwell with us. And unto Hamor and to Shechem his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of the city, and every male was circumcised, all that went out of the gate of the city. And it came to pass on the third day that they were sore, that the two sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, that's who we're dealing with here, because they were close. So Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males. And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house, and went out. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain, and spoiled the city, because they had defiled their sister. They took their sheep and their oxen and their asses, and that which was in the city, and that which was in the field, and all their wealth, and all their little ones, and their wives took they captive, and spoiled all that was in the house. So that's what they did. Simeon and Levi banded together, picked up swords, and they went in there and they slew that city. So much so that the other brethren came after that, and they spoiled everything else. That's what they did. That's Simeon and Levi. You understand? That's the island of Hispaniola. I got it right here. Got it right here, right? I thought I had it right here. Yeah, Hispaniola. That's the island that they're both on. Hispaniola. Simeon and Levi. The Haitians and the Dominicans. This is what they did. So as much as they hate each other now, well, we're going to get the scripture. I'll have you know that according to your history, you two were close. You avenged our sister, right? I mean, you were fierce, as Jacob's going to say. Verse 30, and Jacob said unto Simeon and Levi, ye have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house. Because, you know, Jacob was the level-headed one. He said, man, he was being level-headed. He was being spiritual about it. He understood. He looked at the whole picture. because they all were wroth. They all were pissed off. But Jacob had to keep it cool. And when he saw what they did, he said, you know, I'm small in number and I'm surrounded by these heathen. What happens now if they roll on us? Right? He says, and they said, should he deal with our sister as with an harlot? That's what Simeon and Levi said. So they said, so we just going to, let him do that to our sister? No, man. So they went in there, slew them, yanked her out. That's what they did. Simeon and Levi. So then it finally hit me. I said, whoa, wait a minute. They're on the same island. That's dangerous. So if the Lord ever wanted to, he could put them heathen down there could be in trouble, man. But you see, there's strife between the two when you go to the curses. Because I'm also going to show you how, in the Apocrypha, they get commended for what they did. And then we definitely got to read what Jacob said, right? Let me read some history first. So that brother, I mean, you could watch the rest of it. He wasn't budging. He was like, no, F them because of the history, right? I'm upset. I don't like them. And even though we was getting through to him, this other man that he was with, he was seeing it. He was seeing it. He was like, okay, I see. But he wasn't getting it. He was hell bent on saying, I don't like them, right? So, I just typed in the strife between Haiti and the Dominican Republic because it was actually, so, the Haitian Levi say F Simeon, I don't like them because they have history, right? And then even the Dominican Republic, they actually got their independence from Haiti. So that's why they look at them sideways too, because they say, look, we had to get our independence from them, so they was holding us back, right? But you're actually family, you're actually brethren. So this is an article from Opinion that says the Dominican Republic and Haiti, one island riven by an unsolved past. And that goes back to the scripture. In fact, we can read it. You go to Genesis chapter 49. This is when Jacob was about to go to the spirit world. He's about to rest with his fathers, and he was blessing his children. It says, and Jacob called, which in the Hebrew is Yaquab, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together and hear, you sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defilest it. He went up into my couch. Yeah, because he slept with his Jacob's concubine while Jacob's still alive, obviously. So because of that, he didn't get the firstborn blessing. And then because of what Simeon and Levi did, which was the second and third born, they didn't get it either. So it went to Jacob because it said Jacob excelled them, right? It says Simeon and Levi are brethren. See, meaning he's saying those two are close. So Simeon and Levi, you're actually close. Okay, we're close. So Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou unto their secret, unto their assembly, mine honor. Be not thou united, for in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they digged down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. So he said that because together, and really all the tribes are together, we're a force not reckoned with. But there's a Simeon and Levi together. Oh man, that's a problem. Why? Because of what they did. They did that by themselves. Okay, together. All right. So he said, I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. So that's why there's divisions amongst you two. But the Lord had it to where y'all both ended up on the same island for the most part. And you got some of all the tribes everywhere, but primarily down there is Levi and Simeon. You got Judah in there. You definitely got Benjamin there. You definitely got Manasseh in there because Manasseh is Cubans. They're right there. They're next door to them. In fact, so much so that guy said, which I believe he's a Haitian. We didn't get him on camera because he didn't want to be on camera, but he said that his father is from Cuba and he moved to Haiti. And we was like, well, wait a minute now, you could be Manasseh. But I think he's Levi. His father just may happen to live in Cuba. But nevertheless, all the tribes in there, but the bulk is Simeon and Levi, the so-called Haitians and the so-called Dominicans, right? So the Lord said, David said, it's like Jacob said, that he would divide them. That's why there's division. So if I go to the article now, I'm just going to read a little bit, but it's talking about the division amongst the two and how it just seems like they can't get along. It says Haiti and the Dominican Republic share the island of Hispaniola, basically Simeon and Levi, for the most part. You got the other tribes mingled amongst them as well. And then you got the heathen, but we talking about Israel here. It says, where Christopher Colon established the first European settlement in 1492, despite their shared history of colonialism and slavery, dictatorship, and oppression, a physical and emotional border has long separated them. That's the scriptures. The western third of the island was ceded by Spain in France in 1679, and the entire island by 1795. By 1801, the famed former slave General Toussaint Louverture had freed all the slaves on the island and united it under his governorship, though it was short-lived. In 1808, a group of Dominicans started the War of Reconquest to drive out the French and return to the eastern part of the island to Spanish rule. The West, by this point, was the Republic of Haiti, but by 1822, Haiti had established control of the whole island once more. Indeed, the Dominican Republic gained its independence from Haiti, not Spain, in 1844. So just right there, a little brief history show you that there was a bunch of back and forth. And if you're born in that island, if you're born as a Simeonite on that island and you're learning this history, you probably will look at your own brothers, Levi, the Haitians, with disdain, because you'll say, well, wait a minute, I'm Dominican Republic and they're the Haitis and they did this to me and we had to gain our independence from them and they don't like me, well, I don't like them either, and vice versa. I mean, this dude wasn't letting up. Let me just see. Let me see. I can show you.
Yes, and we also said it's on a spiritual level. We also know
on my shirt.
We also know Dominicans hate.
This is Bertha Prescott. She was the president of Haiti. Back in the first woman president in the whole America. When she took office, by mandates of the United States, the Dominicans armed a rebel group and then had them invade our country. How can I like people like that?
Now, are you talking about Dominicans or Edomites?
It doesn't matter, bro. These people, I don't like them, bro. I would
okay, well, guess what? They don't like Dominicans. They don't like Negroes neither. I know, but they're what we're saying is showing your attitude shows that the scriptures is real. That there's strife between the tribes, and part of the healing process, the Lord is going to do away with that. That's why you see what you have.
Let me ask you, what they're doing to my people is okay?
We're the same people.
We get.
And it went on. He said, I don't like them, F them, I don't care. But like I said, if Simeon and Levi actually knew together, okay, what your history is, you realize you two are brethren. And what you did, man, together is no joke. I mean, the other tribes, we look at, oh man, Simeon and Levi together, that's a bad duo, man. You don't want to mess with them too, right? I'll read a little bit more. It said, modern times have been no less complicated. In 1937, Dominican dictator Rafael Trujillo, who wore makeup to lighten his skin and was obsessed with whitening the predominantly mixed race island, ordered the massacre of Haitians in border areas where many worked cultivating sugar. To determine who was Haitian, soldiers with machetes asked dark-skinned people to say the word perejil or perejil, which is Spanish for parsley. For Creole-speaking Haitians, the R sounded was difficult to pronounce, and a slip of the tongue became a death sentence. And that's recorded in the scriptures as well. Like I said, the same thing happened to Levi. I'm not Levi. Ephraim, I'm not going to do it. The Ephraimites was being wicked, or sect Ephraimites being wicked. They were trying to hide. They were trying to run. The tribes cut them off. And they said, look, are you an Ephraimite? He said, no. And he said, okay, say this word. They couldn't say it. Nigga, you an Ephraimite. Slam. Right? So it says for estimates of the massacre range from 10,000 to 25,000 people killed over the course of a few weeks. And the bitter irony was that Trujillo's grandmother was a Haitian. So, and that's why I said chances are, because we're dealing with the past, right? Them Dominicans, right? Chances are some of them could have just been Edomites who speak Spanish, who look like Dominicans. Because Edomites back then, if they were born in that land, they were like, yeah, I'm a Dominican. But really, you're a Hispanola, you're a Hispanic. Your father goes back to a Spaniard, but you're born in Dominican, so you think you're Dominican Republic. So, but nevertheless, the true Israelites, who before they were called and labeled Dominicans or Haitians, they were known as the tribe of Levi and the tribe of Simeon. So you got to try the spirit by the spirit. But nevertheless, that right there shows you that there was strife between the tribes. Again, Simeon suffers self-hatred dearly. They suffer, especially the women. That's why they have a problem with Negroes. That self-hatred for the southern kingdom, especially Judah, even though we're the same people, there's strife there. And I was told, which I might just re-upload the video, but I was told that when I came in this truth, you got to stay away from Simeon, man. They don't like niggas. That's how the brother explained it at the time. And then you see videos of people saying, hey, look, don't visit the Dominican Republic if you're black because they hate black people, etc. All of it is rooted in racism, whitewashing and oppression. That's why we say, like the brother said, at camp, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, is really the root of it because he taught us to hate ourselves, right? Nevertheless, as Jacob said in the latter days, he basically prophesied that there's going to be division amongst the two tribes, particularly Simeon and Levi. So I'll end it off on this is the book of Judith, which Judith was a Simeonite. For the longest time, we thought we thought she was Judah because she was born in Judah, but she's actually a Simeonite. So a very beautiful, fine Simeonite. Okay. Judah chapter 9. Then Judith fell upon her face and put ashes upon her head and uncovered the sackcloth wherewith she was clothed. And about the time that the incense of that evening was offered in Jerusalem in the house of the Lord, Judith cried with a loud voice and said, O Lord Yahweh of my father Simeon, to whom thou gavest a sword to take vengeance of the strangers, who loosened the girdles of a maid to defile her, and discovered the thigh to her shame, and polluted her virginity to her reproach. For thou saidest, it shall not be so, and they did so. Wherefore thou gavest their rulers to be slain, so that they died in the bed in blood, being deceived, and smotest the servants with their lords, and the lords upon the thrones, and has given their wives for a prey, and their daughters to be captives, and all their spoils to be divided amongst thy dear children, which remove with thy zeal, and abhorred the pollution of their blood, and called upon thee for aid, O power, O my power, hear me also a widow. For thou hast wrought not only those things, but also the things which fell out before, and which ensued after. Thou hast thought upon the things which are now, which are to come. So she goes on, because she's making a prayer before the Lord, and she's thanking the Lord for allowing, for avenging the daughters, Dinah, shall I say, for avenging her on those heathen that defiled her, because they were uncircumcised, and they weren't supposed to have our women anyway. So she's thanking the Lord. So Simeon and Levi actually got commended for that act. You see? So have only Simeon and Levi was to come to that realization of what they did and how close they were in the past, then they would learn that hatred that they have is all temporarily. It's the strife between the tribes. But you two brothers, had only you known how close you were in the past, and you're gonna be back buddy in the kingdom. You're close, man. Hey, just like Benjamin and Joseph were close because both came from Rachel. The book of Isaiah 11, we'll just read it again. Verse 13, this is prophecy. Starting at 12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. And that consists of the entire northern kingdom tribes and southern kingdom. All the tribes is what I meant to say. There's strife between the tribes as of right now, just like Simeon and Levi were talking about. But it's going to be done away with. And the Lord may have something in store because to put them two on the same island, the bulk of them, ooh, man, them heathen in trouble, man. That's all the Lord got to do is snap his fingers. And them two brothers going to go at it. That's a problem, okay, for you heathens. Verse 14. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west, and they shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hands upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. See? So we're going to get these heathen back when the Lord brings us back together. And it's happening now. But like the brother said, even in the video, 2/3 of all the nation has to be destroyed. Only 12,000 men from each tribe is going to be delivered. Then you have the mixed multitude, which consists of men, women, and children, right? But 2/3 of them have to be destroyed. So you do have wicked Haitians and you Levites, and you have wicked Simeonites. So we can't just because you got wicked Benjaminites, you got wicked Manassites, etc. They got to be destroyed. And then the elect, we're gonna all come back together in the kingdom, and there will be one kingdom and no more division and no more strife. All right. So that's the history of Hispaniola, even going back to the scriptures. Shalom.